folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today June is here. Summer has arrived, sort of. We've had some very high winds in the UK. It's not been overly warm. We've had some sunshine, but it doesn't feel like June really. But anyway, there we go. It feels more like sort of April, if I'm honest. But we've got some new and interesting kits arrived from ICM, including this very interesting one, the 1/35th scale Bergepanther. Now this is the one that's got the Mk.IV tank turret on it, which is a very strange combo if you think about it. Looks like something from a sort of Greebly build where you've stuck a load of kits together. And this is kind of what it was. Now, as I understand it, I'm not a great expert on the vehicle, being honest, but obviously it's a Panther chassis, and these Bergpanthers were mainly used as recovery vehicles on the battlefield to tow away damaged tanks and get them fixed up. This one though, allegedly there was only one made. I'm sure there'll be more details inside hopefully in a minute, but there's supposed to have only been one made, and it was really there as a bit of a decoy and a bit pointless because I don't think the gun worked either, so it's very strange. And the turret didn't rotate, so a very odd choice. Anyway, let's see, there might be some more explanation inside. But anyway, it's brand new from ICM, new tool just come out, summer of 2024, and it's kit number 35360. So let's take a bit of a closer look at this one. Nice bit of artwork on the front, as you can see. Oh, some reflections there, you can also see. Yeah, nice bit of artwork, I thought. Looks like it's sort of in like a Normandy setting, I would suggest. And on the side we have got quite a brief description. It says combat vehicle with the well-known Panzer IV combat vehicle with the turret from the well-known Panzer IV tank. Unusual modernisation of the Bergepanther under field conditions. Model kit is based on historical photographs. And the decals of the markings of the Schwer Panzer Jager Abteilung 653. Okay, and then on the side here we've got bit of an idea. It makes it look quite low-lying. In some respects it's perhaps a bit more stealthy than a standard Panther, because the standard Panther has quite a big turret. Must have been awfully cramped inside though. I can't believe it was very practical, especially this one with the non-moving turret. But there we go. So let's have a look, see at what we got. Before I start this one, I'm going to be doing a June update. There's not a lot to tell you, I'm afraid. Model building wise, I've been absolutely dire, nothing really. But we have got some new things coming up. I'm going to talk about the FW190 SWS Zukimura gun barrels. Going to have a look at those in June because they've just come through for the Focke-Wulf 190. General chit chat, but of course I've been on holidays. Some of you probably know. You've probably seen my Lake District holiday snaps. That was also a bit mixed, the weather, I'm afraid. We had some torrential rain and we had some nice days, but also proper Lake District weather. And but we had some low-flying jets, as you probably saw. We had the F-15s from Lakenheath. And I tried to get some proper footage of those, better footage. But if any of you have ever tried to get these things, they're completely unpredictable when they're coming in. And they're very, very difficult to photograph now. The photography, if they'd kept coming, I would have got better and better, because once I know they're coming, I can usually get it right. But I was actually waiting for them for an entire morning, and nothing came, and that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. So if those of you thought, oh, average your photography, well, listen, you try it. I mean, I've sat up on hillsides for an entire day and seen nothing at all. It happens all the time. But there we go. Anyway, on with the Bergepanther from ICM, because I think that's what you're here for. Let me see if I find my knife, trusty knife, because this is brand new, straight from the courier. And we'll get this open carefully with my blade. I've got a fairly new blade. The trouble is, every time the courier comes, I end up using the blade on opening parcels. It really gunks up the blade, so I have to keep cleaning it, because it's not blunt or anything. It's a new blade. Right then. Using the... Oh, and by the way, I've also, before I forget, I have been told off about... Somebody has told me off, somebody who's an expert on fashion, has told me off about my jacket, only in that sometimes when I sit here, there's a crease forms behind my collar, over the sort of collar, the collarbone shoulder area. And this expert, is a good friend of mine, has said you need to pull your jacket down to get this very noticeable crease, which I hadn't noticed. You see, people do pick up on things and details that I miss. There you go. box within a box. And here we go. This is going to be quite an interesting subject, isn't it? Because nice to see a Panther. I hope they're going to do other variants from ICM. That would be cool. You know, it's better than Tigers. A little bit different. Let's see what we've got then. Oops, got that over there, I think. So we have. Oops, yes, we've got some decals. I think that's just popped out, and it says the Panther tank is considered by many specialists to be one of the best tanks of the Second World War. Its reliable armour and powerful firepower made this tank a formidable opponent on the battlefield. And of course it was developed to combat the T-34, Germany's first sloping armour tank, this was. Various combat vehicles were produced on this chassis, including the Armoured Recovery Vehicle, ARV, the Bergepanther SDK FZ179. One of the unusual modifications of this vehicle was produced in the 653rd Heavy Panzerjäger Battalion, Schwer Panzerjäger Abteilung 653. A turret from another tank, a Mk.IV Panzer, was installed on the chassis of the RV, thus converting the Bergepanther into a command vehicle. According to some researchers, this turret was fixed. Instead of a gun, it had a dummy installed. Okay, that would explain, because you don't want the weight, do you really? Allowing the space inside the armoured hull, free from the gun, to be used for additional radio stations to work on combat maps. Well, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? So it looks like a mean tank, but it's actually a command vehicle. Quite clever, really. It is likely that such a modification was made only on one specimen. This vehicle was part of the combat strength of the Schwer Panzerjäger Abteilung 653, and its use occurred in the spring of 1944 in the area of Ternopil in Ukraine. Ah, that's why they've obviously got the photographs on these locally for ICM. Well, that's very interesting. And they're recommending the ICM paint set 3003, which is the German colours, you know. Now we did see some decals. I'll show you those. Not many. Very straightforward decal set we've got here. Here we are. Not many to choose from there. Just a couple of crosses, a couple of numbers, and there's Abteilung's logo here. That's nice and straightforward. So, quick look at the instructions then. I'll zoom you back. So we've got typical thing. We've got the sprue maps. There are some parts that are not used. I think some spare tracks there, and it looks like we've got individual tracks. I think there's going to be quite a few of those. And just the odd part that obviously that is unique to the Panther. So it does make me hope that we're going to get a Panther variant later, other Panther variants I should say. So we start off, looks like we've got a bathtub type chassis with all the torsion bar suspension popping out, although it seems to show some of them are already in there. We'll have a look at the plastic, but it looks like they're already in. You just put in the front and rear set. Then you've got your drive, transmission drivetrain, and your idler wheels coming out there. You've got your main road wheels going on, which you're building here. You've got your idler wheel being built there. Then you've got your drive sprocket wheel there. Main drive sprocket at the front. Exhausts. And then you're bringing all the wheels on. Then you've got your stowage boxes at the back here. Oops. And then we've got the famous jack, of course. I always seem to knock them off when I'm picking up the tank model. And then you're putting your stowage boxes on at the back, having put your exhaust in place, of course. Put your exhaust in place there. And then you've got the lights at the front on the sloping armour at the front of the top of the hull. Putting in your various driver, and it's the driver, isn't it, and the gunner. Of course there isn't a gun on this front, so it might just be an observer or radio man that's going to sit there, or indeed the commander. You've got your like gas filters, aren't they, on the top of the hatch here. Then we've got a spare track that's going to go on, the track link holder. You've got all your tools coming in here with wire cutters and wheel brace for the jack. And you've got hatchets and a spade And then of course over here we've got our mudguards going on the front. You've got your top filter covers going on top of the engine deck. Bringing in all your tools on the side here. A couple of lights going on, indicators and things there. And then you're going to build up your tracks, and it shows it doesn't go to great detail, I have to say. But, it's not link and length, it is just link and link, I'm afraid. And then you've got this rather curiously low-lying Panzer IV turret that we're going to build up here, which is because it's very low. But I have to say, the way that they portray this, it looks a little bit like something about the artwork, perhaps. It just looks a little bit like a standard Panther turret, the way they're showing it. Is that correct? Or is there another version? No, it shows it. Ah, yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting. It's got additional armour around it, so it makes it look quite a lot different. So yeah, it's a standard Mark IV turret. Then you've got your allegedly fake gun, fake 76mm gun going on here. 76 or 75 on the, it'd be 75 I think, wouldn't it, on the Mark IV. That's coming on here. Then you've got all your little various hooks and the bits that would normally stow the spare track links on the side of the turret. Then you've got your cupola ring going on there, complete with handholds. Here we've got the stowage box at the back, which they often kept things like ammunition in. Ammo box behind. Pulling that onto the turret, complete with these support rods, brackets that are going to hold the extra armour on, which you then put on here. This is the bit I didn't quite understand. It does make it look odd. Having that armour on, it actually it makes it look less like a Mark IV, which is probably why they put it on, I guess. And then ultimately you've got your gun turret, locking brace. Not that that's going to be needed in this case, really. It's a fake. And then you've got your towing cables and your armour plate skirts that are going on the side. It looks nice, actually, I've got to say. Is that it? That's it. And then at the back we've got the marking. Okay, so there was only one unit used it. It's quite a good looking tank, I think. I was looking on a forum and somebody said it reminds me of modern ARVs like the Bradley, but it kind of does, doesn't it, in a way? A little bit, you know. Looks very interesting anyway. Well, that looks very straightforward instructions, very easy to understand, I think, there. Could have perhaps gone into a bit more detail of the tracks, but apart from that, fine, you know. Pretty self-explanatory. So, let's have a look at the plastic. It doesn't look huge. I don't think it's another one of these jack-in-the-box kits, he says, in his last words. But we can't get back in the box. Oh, there's a lot of links there. Oh, there is. Right, okay, let's have a look. Nice to see something different from ICM. Something I can't remember in the back catalogue whether they did a Panther before. Maybe that they have. See if there's any sort of tooling dates on it or anything like that. Just this ICM on that one. And again, just ICM. Well, it looks alright, it looks nice and solid. I've only built the Tamiya, the old kit from the 1975, I think it is. So, not the greatest Panther expert, but that was a nice kit, of course. Got a feeling this is going to be a bit better because it's so much more modern. Let's have a look then, zoom you in. Let's have a look first at the bathtub style hull. Get the old zoom to work. Now then. Well, they've done that rather nicely, haven't they? There's some fine detail there. That's been quite nicely moulded as a bathtub style. They've got great detail, the little hatches, access hatches and drain hatches underneath, under the engine and gearbox. That's been very well moulded in terms of finesse. It's very sharp, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. That's very, very nice. Okay. Then we have the top of the hull. Zoom back a bit for this. Top of the hull here. With obviously its famous sloping armour, which was designed to combat the T-34. I mean, in some respects, it's almost a copy of the T-34, this tank, but with a lot of German engine. Well, some people would say over-engineering on it. certainly the basic look of it from the front is very T-34 like, isn't it? With that, you know, 45-degree armour slope, as you can see there. Is it 45, 43? It might be 43 degrees. It's there or thereabouts. But yeah, they've moulded this really nicely, and it's got like quite a nice sort of granular sort of tank type finish on it. It's quite it's got a nice texture to it. Yeah, I like that. That's very nice. So that obviously that would go on. Zoom back a bit more. That would go on here, like so. What it's going to be like. Looks okay, doesn't it? Looks all right. Not much wrong there, like that I think, and there we go. So that looks quite positive already. Liking that. Very good. So far so good. Then we've got the many tracks. Oh, we're going to look at these I suppose. Oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Yes. No. I wonder if that's something ICM might develop in the future if they do more armoured vehicles, is to go for link and length. Just to, I mean, this is obviously much cheaper to design and process and produce, but quite a lot of work because you've got 4 of these sprues, so you've got a lot of track there. But it is nicely moulded. There's no flash or anything. It looks really sharp actually. I think it's going to look really nice. You weather that up a bit, it'll look really cool. So that's them. That's 4 of those. Quite a big set. Okay. Then we have this one. Let's come back a bit. So this has got the side plate armour down the side skirt armour. We've got the back of the hull, the rear bulkhead, back end. You've got your drive, transmission drive at the front, and then you've got all these other and small ancillary parts like the gun locking mount here. Although I say it's not really critical on this one, I thought, because the turret doesn't swing and there is no gun, it's just there for show really. Seems a bit of a waste of time. I'm surprised that was on it actually. Surprised that was on it. And you've got your hatchet and your spade here, which looks pretty good. You've got your top access hatches here, the hatch themselves and the hatch holes obviously on the top of the hull. Stowage boxes for the back, and then you've got here, you've got your, this is obviously your access hatch for the engine. Got one of your main idler wheels there, sorry, road wheel I should say. I think it's the spare in fact, spare one. And then you've got parts of the gun, the false gun. And then you've got some very nice tools over here. Barrel cleaning rod, again completely superfluous. I mean, I'm not sure they'd actually have those on the side of it even, really. It would hardly give the game away, because by the time anybody got close enough to see that there's no tools on it, no barrel cleaning rod, it'd be immaterial by such a point really, I think, anyway, because it'd either be blown up or they'd have been captured, one or the other. You'd either lost or won a battle by this point. But it's very nice, isn't it? Very nicely moulded. Then we have 2 sprues that are identical, and that is the one with all the drive wheels on it. Sorry, bring that out. All the road wheels, which are very nicely done. Look at that. Oh yes, I like this sprue. This is the nicest one yet. We've got your drive sprocket wheel, and then we've got the exhausts here, which are kind of hollowed out. They're nice the way they've done those. I need to zoom you in on this one. The exhaust, tiny bit of flash just around the lip of it actually, but we shouldn't be too worried about that. Look at the fact that it's hollowed out. That makes it look really realistic, that exhaust. That's nice, isn't it? No flash anywhere else. I think it's just. Is it on the other one as well? Check the other sprue just to see. Yeah, they both actually got it on. That one's got it on as well. Just a little tiny, just a tiny clean up. That's all. But they're very nice in that they've got that hollowed out look, so they look quite realistic. Normally you don't get that, in fairness. Then you've got your little hatches on top of the engine here. You've got a little return idler wheel at the back there. You've got your towing cables. These are nice. Look at that. Towing cables. That's cool. Now that would be important on a tank like this if it gets used for recovery, which it may do as well. Torsion bars there. The suspension front and rear. I should put one in the front, one in the rear on both sides, I think. Or is it 2, I think, yeah. Well, they actually provide 8 in total, don't they? Sorry, 16. Because there's 2 sprues here, obviously. That's a very nice sprue though. And then over here you've got your little headlights with the little slit. Got your towing hooks. That is very, very, very nice indeed. You got your engine fan cover here on top of the engine deck. Cool. I like it. Yes, I like that sprue. Very nice. And then, boom, 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 that one we've done. Sorry. Then finally, the last sprue is the turret basically, and the gun. With its sort of false gun, if you will. It's got a really nice looking muzzle. Well, that looks absolutely fantastic. Look at that. That's nice. Here and here. Turn it over, you can see that inside. And then you've got your classic Mk.IV turret. Yeah, I've got to say that the armour around the outside does make it look a bit odd. It makes it look not like a Mk.IV. When you actually see it here, then it does look like a Mk.IV classic turret, doesn't it? You can see it there. And you've got your stowage boxes at the back here. And you've got your sort of mantlet at the front here, where the false gun's going to go. Cupola ring over here. And then you've all got these mounting brackets. This is the mounting brackets for the armour plating, and this is the armour plating here and here. Huh. It's a strange concept, isn't it? It's a strange concept, but it looks lovely on the sprue. I've got to say they've done a nice job here. That is very, very nice, actually. Well, what do you think? I think that's really corking, yeah? I haven't seen a sort of contemporary popular tanker, so to speak, from ICM before, if I'm honest. And I'm very impressed. Obviously we've had half tracks and things like that. And trucks, you know. But that is a very nice Bergepanther. Even if there was only one of them. Quite impressed by that. So what do we think? I mean, really, apart from the tiniest piece of flash on those exhausts, it's completely flawless actually. Really, really nice. How many is it going to get out of 10 then? Is it going to stand up? What's the point? Let's put it there. Alright, there we go. What do you reckon? I mean, really, it's got a nice feel to it, this kit actually. I think it's the sort of kit I could start building right now, you know, just get the glue out and get going, you know. It's got that sort of, it's not too complicated. They haven't thrown in a million parts, you know, like people like Ryefield do. It's buildable in a few days, I would think. That is certainly in a week, easily. I think they've done a really nice job of it, and you know, the accuracy looks good. And it's an interesting subject, so I'm going to give it 9.5 out of 10. Thanks very much, ICM. Thanks for providing the kit for review. Interesting. I'd love to see more variations on Panthers. Yeah, I'd like to see other versions of it coming out. That'd be really cool. So well done. I hope you thought that was interesting, and I hope you agree with the score. Don't forget, if you do, to give me a 10 out of 10 with a thumbs up. I mean, that would have got 10 out of 10 if it weren't just that tiny flash. And I'm being a bit picky, you know. Maybe 9.75 is almost fairer, because there's not much wrong with it. It's got nice artwork and they gave a good description. So I'm going to revise. I'm going to give it 9.75, which I think is perhaps a fairer score, because I think I'm really reaching to find fault here. It's nearly a 10. It's nearly a 10, isn't it? Very nice kit indeed, and it's only retailing for, I think it's about £24–25, possibly £25 to £30 mark in the UK. Quite a sensible price, and a nice, interesting subject, and an unusual looking tank to have in your display cabinet at the end when you built it. All good. So there you go. So don't forget, 9.75 out of 10 from me. Give us a 10 out of 10 with a thumbs up. Give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Got some more interesting ones from ICM coming up. I'm also going to be doing this review, as I mentioned, not review, but sorry, update. We're talking about the new guns for the FW190 from Zerkimura. All interesting stuff. We've also got some we've got some other occasional non-model related or not kit related video. I did promise many months ago. Somebody asked me this recently. Said, "What happened to this idea? You're going to talk about your radio control aircraft." I don't want to go off into a tangent, but we do like to have a now for something completely different. So I think I'll do that. You sometimes have seen these aircraft. They're all around me. I've got 7 of them. I think there's an 8th in the box that isn't built yet. They're all the same design, and they are very fast electric powered jets, basically. Not a true jet, they're a pusher prop. But I'll talk about that. I'll do a separate show, I think, because it's summer. Be a nice time to sort of get one of those out and perhaps give you a quick demo. I think you find it interesting, just something different, you know. And I think some of you might think, wow, you know, I mean, we see a lot about drones these days, of course, in civilian and military use, of course. But these are sort of relatively old technology now. These are sort of well, the kit came out about 15 years ago. So they're not new, but when you see them, nobody who's ever seen these things I fly leaves unimpressed, because they are A, fast, and B, make a banshee of a noise, and it sounds like a V12 Formula 1 car, and the performance is quite astonishing. But anyway, we'll talk about that as well. So stay tuned, because we've got some interesting things coming up to talk about and show you. Hope to see you very soon. In the meantime, please look after yourselves. Thank you very much for watching and all your time. I hope I didn't get too many creases in my jacket today. Looking a bit better, I think. So my fashion consultant will be happy as well. Anyway, stay tuned. Till next time, please look after yourselves. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon. Thanks, and all the best. Till next time, take care of yourselves, and bye for now.